With the Arteon, launched in 2017 and then revised 3 years on to create the car we're going to look at here, Volkswagen makes another bid for executive segment credibility. Elegance, comfort and technology are all delivered here, along with a 5-door coupe body style and a surprising level of practicality, especially with the alternative shooting brake body style. If you're looking for something individual and sensibly different in this sector, it's worth a look. So, lots to talk about with this revised Arteon, new engines, including a plug-in PHEV model, a more responsive four-wheel drive option, new assisted driving tech, and a fire-breathing flagship Arteon R performance model with 320 PS, all of which can be fitted to a brand new shooting brake body style if you don't want this fastback Gran Turismo hatch. But of course, much has also remained the same. As we said when we first tested this car, in many ways the whole Gran Turismo concept rather suits this Arteon. GT motoring is supposed to be about high-speed touring rather than out-and-out sports car driving dynamics, and if you judge this Volkswagen purely on that criteria, then you're likely to be quite satisfied with it. Refinement is excellent, as is ride quality, thanks to a specially developed 4-link independent rear suspension setup that can be embellished with a sophisticated DCC, dynamic chassis control adaptive damping system. DCC is optional on the mainstream models, but it comes as standard if you go for one of the top 4Motion 4-wheel drive variants, which also get an XDS electronic differential lock system to help get the power down at speed through tight turns. You won't really want to go throwing this Volkswagen about though. It really isn't that kind of car, but what it lacks when it comes to driving on its door handles, it more than makes up for with exemplary transcontinental style cruising ability. This car's latest travel assist system now allows level 2 partially autonomous driving at speeds of up to 130 miles an hour. And the adaptive cruise control system is now predictive, meaning it can anticipate and adapt to road conditions before you reach them. All of which clues you up for what you're in for here, a driving experience which in every way is prioritised towards laid-back comfort, exactly as a typical Arteon user would want. Engine-wise, 2 key changes have been made to this revised model, with perhaps the most significant being the introduction of the Wolfsburg brand's latest Evo Series 2-litre TDI 150 PS diesel engine, a unit that, when paired with the DSG 7-speed automatic gearbox that most Arteon customers want, is capable of up to 58.9 mpg on the WLTP cycle and up to 128 grams per kilometre of WLTP rated CO2 in this fastback model. The other key change relates to the freshly introduced petrol-electric plug-in power plant used in the e-hybrid plug-in variant, which gets a large 13 kilowatt-hour battery, which enables a WLTP-rated driving range of up to 33 miles. As for the more conventional engines, well, the range kicks off with the VW Group's usual 1.5-litre TSI 150 PS petrol unit, but that can't be had with the DSG Auto gearbox that most Arteon folk want, which means that you're just as likely to be looking at the 2 mid-range powertrain options, which only come in auto form, either the 2-litre TSI 190 PS petrol model we're trying here, or the uprated 200 PS version of the 2-litre TDI diesel, which incidentally is the only mainstream engine in the range that can be ordered with the option of Volkswagen's 4Motion 4-wheel drive system, now improved with selective wheel torque control. That 4Motion setup also features on the fire-breathing Arteon R performance flagship model that we mentioned earlier. That uses the 2-litre TSI petrol engine in an uprated 320 PS state of tune. Volkswagen design chief Klaus Sicura believes the Arteon merges the design elements of a traditional sports car with the elegance and the space of a fastback. The key frontal updates that characterise this improved model relate to this broad, deep grille, which gets the latest Volkswagen badge at its centre. The lower of the 2 silver crossbars that bisect that roundel now feature LED fibre optic cables, so that the lighting elements, the radiator grille and the bonnet merge to form a single unit. You don't notice much difference during the day, but it all looks rather smart at night. This lower apron is different too. It was previously composed of 4 chrome bars, but it's now made up of 3 significantly more striking ones. Move to the side and the size and character of the Arteon become even more evident. Ignore any ignorant colleagues who dismiss this as a prettified Passat. This is quite a different kind of car with quite different dimensions, which see it measure in 95mm longer, 39mm wider and 26mm lower than its showroom stablemate. Those dimensions are almost, but not quite, enough to qualify the Arteon for full-sized executive segment status, or to put it another way, to make it into an Audi A6 rather than an Audi A4 rival. The shaping from the B-pillar backwards will of course depend on whether you've chosen the shooting brake estate body shape or the Gran Turismo 5-door hatch. Both feature this swept back roofline, and we like the uplighter effect of these sculpted lower panels. With this Gran Turismo hatch model, subtle changes feature at the rear, where that revised Volkswagen badge is flanked by restyled LED light clusters that will feature this darkened tinting, providing you avoid entry-level trim. Rather surprisingly, yes, a complete redesign of fundamental fascia architecture. Rarely features with merely facelifted models, but that's what we've got here. The entire dash panel is different. The air outlets, the centre console, the surfacing, the trim panels, all of it. And there's a smarter looking 3-spoke steering wheel too, which is now of the touch sensitive capacitive kind. As before, the instrument dials are replaced on all models by Volkswagen's customizable active info display, a 12.3-inch TFT screen with an almost infinitely customizable layout of crystal clear virtual graphics. Anything that the instrument binnacle can't tell you will almost certainly be covered on or duplicated by this 8-inch Centre Dash Discover infotainment display. Discover Pro 9.2-inch screen is available on request. At the wheel, if you're used to an Audi or a BMW, then you might not especially like the way that these superbly supportive Ergo Comfort seats position you a little higher in front of this 3-spoke leather-stitched wheel. Still, that is useful for maximising rear 3/4 vision, which is better than it usually is on Gran Turismo style models of this type, and that's despite the narrow rear window and the thick, steeply angled rear pillars. Let's take a seat in the back. The higher roofline of the alternative shooting brake version of this model makes it slightly easier to get into the rear. Once inside, despite 1.48 metres of interior width, this car isn't suited to the carriage of 3 adults. Gran Turismos never are. The prominently high central transmission tunnel mitigates against that. You do, though, courtesy of the lengthy 2.84 metre wheelbase, get standards of legroom that are on another level from competing Audi A5 Sportback and BMW 4 Series Grand Coupe models. The actual legroom figure in this Arteon is 1016mm with both body shapes, and that matches what you get from full-sized executive saloons from the next class up, measuring over 5 metres in exterior length. Class-leading headroom, of course, can't be offered here, but the swept-back roof, as you can see, doesn't compromise headroom too much. There's 940mm of it. Lankier 6-footers may find themselves brushing the smart headliner, but only in this hatch model. That's less of an issue in the shooting brake, which offers 48mm more ceiling height. Let's finish this segment by taking a look in the boot. Now, you only get this powered tailgate if you avoid entry-level trim, and once it's risen, you're faced with a large 563-litre space in this Gran Turismo hatch model, which, if you're interested, is 83 litres more than you get in a rival Audi A5 Sportback. If you need more room than that, pushing forward, the 60-40 split seatback frees up as much as 1,557 litres of total fresh air in this hatch model, and more than 2 metres of loading length between the front seats and the boot lip. For the shooting brake estate variant, total carriage capacity is rated at 1,632 litres. In summary then, should you be undecided between the mid-sized and full-sized executive segments and want something practical and spacious, yet with more style and individuality than is available from the usual business class suspects in these categories, then the Arteon could well be a perfect choice. Style knows no brand boundaries, and if you doubt that, then you need to try this car.